Good evening everybody, welcome back to Contest of Speed Tier 2. We're live from Suzuka for round 17, I want to say, of the championship in Season 6. We've got clear skies as well over Japan, and we're going to hopefully see some good racing. Matt's with me as always.
Wouldn't have it any other way, mate.
Yeah, I know. I need you to look after me.
We're nearly there. We're nearly at season end. It's slowly drawing to a close. Cody's and PlayStation have managed to let us race down.
Yeah, nearly put the kibosh on us, but we've soldiered on. So EU2 now with just the one race still to run off the usual calendar, which would be Vietnam on Christmas week.
Yeah, nice little run up to Christmas. We've got, so that'd be what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks time. 22nd, I think it is, for Vietnam.
So 4 races this month before we head into the Christmas break, which will take 2 weeks. We can have a mental refresh and push on for the last couple of races, which should be good. We should be wrapping up January 19th, according to the website. That's obviously
it should be, yeah.
Depending on
so many things.
They have headed up straight on track, Danny, so it looks promising signs.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, what have I spoken? I've spoken too soon.
I've got some information from the Williams garage. We've got rain at the end of the race.
Ooh, little tiptoey.
The thing is, it's you know how normally the rain on here, it's the cloud and then the little raindrop underneath.
Oh yeah,
it's the streaks rather than the raindrop.
So it's just going to be a monsoon.
As far as I'm aware, yeah. With about 5-10 minutes to go.
Well,
roughly. So.
Good luck, guys. Good luck.
We could be in for a classic. Stompy's first man out then. First man to start a lap.
Yeah, it's an iconic track, mate.
Yes, it is.
Been title decided down the pass. Will it be a turning point for the championship this season?
Well,
it's hot, well, I'd say hotly contested.
There's 2 men in it.
Yeah, he's getting hunted down by Dynastics. Now only 38 points. I know what this feels like. It's not
yeah. Although managed to extend his lead again last week when we had the Hungary rerun. So it's they're trading punches at the moment. There's no one clearly in a dominant position.
So rain for 2 weeks in a row. They had it in qualifying. No, they had it in. They had it in qualifying last week.
Yes, I think so. Yes, they did. They had it in Hungary, yeah. And there's a Haas that took rather a long time to get out of the way of Stumpy. Fortunately for that Haas, Stumpy had invalidated his lap earlier on, otherwise he could be looking at a ban next week.
If it was,
Spud, I don't appreciate you writing wet end in the chat.
Yeah, that's yeah, let's move on. It was Caladro, which obviously would have been quite would have an impact on definitely Andreas's work in terms of gamesmanship.
With now himself a wingman. We've got a Renault getting out of the way on the straight as well.
Joe straight in, 26, 8, 19 drivers this evening down here. It is a foolish grid.
Yep, we're just missing one of the Ferraris.
Which is Asakome Caladre has nearly somehow kept it out of the wall at the Dunlop curve. Very difficult part of the track is the first section. The tyres just start to strain a little bit. You just need to coax them through there, and by the end of that, they should be fine. Andreas, wow.
26.6 for him on the medium tyre. That's fast.
I don't appreciate that word either, Spud, but we'll move on from that.
Yeah, that is one of the most hated words in the English language, Spuds.
Damp.
Yes, it's another word for damp he's used.
Collage with a difficult stuff.
He says he knows he did it for fun. Of course you did. We know, Spud, we're just teasing. Jonathan Cox then coming up towards the spoon curve. I don't think I've ever, in my what I would consider to be considerable gaming experience when it comes to racing, I don't think I've ever managed to take spoon curve right on any game.
It's difficult. It's not necessarily it's the first part, it's the second part that catches the drivers out. Especially when you're following another car, you will get washed out to the outside. But then you want to try and hug the inside, but if you hug the inside too much and clip too much of that curve, it will spin you around. Like a couple of actually curves, around this track, I believe. If I have a look at my check.
Jonathan Cox takes pole though, with a 26.4.
Yeah, turn 5, turn 7, and I would say turn 14 are the ones that are going to be a little tricky. Everything else should be okay. Running and yeah, we saw Ricky do mediums last night. Still don't think that was massively intentional, but he was in the top 10 for it. Only 8 guys have set the time. That's a little bit worrying.
Well, I think a lot of them have gone out, done either an installation lap or tried to do a first run and everything validated. So that was Stumpy's case.
Wise boys off the road.
Yeah, and of course it is a classic circuit, so once you hit the edge of the track, you're off. There's very few runoff areas. I think there's only 2 that I can think of. One of which is here at Spoon Curve, and then the other's turn 1, where if any of you are big F1 fans, you'll know the accident that happened there years ago between Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost.
So Dunlop curves seemingly causing some problems. From my experience last night, I know it wasn't the nicest.
No, I had a couple of twitchy moments, yeah.
Caught a few guys out already. That's turn 7 for doesn't know what Dunlop curve is. Lewis is about to finish. It's been fairly tidy. Used this 27.1. Expecting the guys to be there or thereabouts with EU3. Obviously, EU3 pole time yesterday, if you weren't watching, was Rage Snipes, who absolutely blew everything out of the water.
Yeah, he did.
25.7 at the end of qualifying yesterday. Which, I mean, well done, fair play. I'm not even going to argue.
Absolutely smashed it. So housekeeping then. I think we've forgotten to do housekeeping, haven't we, so far? We've got 3 reserves in tonight. That's Juventus in the Mercedes and both McLarens, so Joel and Jay Prentice. So we're missing a Ferrari. Everybody else is present, correct, and accounted for.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And
so obviously no Wizard, and McLaren's seat is empty because Falk has had to
vacate. Yes, we are trying to get a recruit in there, but the first person I've gone to ask can't race on a Tuesday, so there's a slight issue there.
Try.
Yeah.
Got a few on the way, a couple on the way. So it's all good.
Jamie's managed to get a lap together, puts himself P4 on the mediums. Good time.
I would say it's a very good time considering some guys haven't set a time yet on the softs. If they leave it late, that's putting a lot of pressure to get that one run right. And, that's where you're going to make the mistakes. So both him and Andreas actually only half a tenth of steps to the right.
Yeah, I think Jamie will be happy with that time.
Now, we know that rain's coming towards the end, and we know that Codemasters like to also bring it a little bit earlier than predicted. Would potentially these guys be running, if they can qualify in the top 10, mediums to when the rain comes?
I would doubt it. the guys on the mediums will have an advantage anyway, of course, given the reverse strategy is often quicker. Excuse me, but I think in this instance, if the rain does come, there'll be an even bigger advantage having the softer compound later into the race.
Because Joel's he's gone out on the mediums.
Interesting. Dynastics is out on the mediums. I mean, I suppose it might be worth a gamble. If you can avoid an extra pit stop, then
he's come straight back in. So. Let's see, who else is that? Dan's out there on the. Well, Dan's gone to the mediums and pits. Dynamo's thinking about it as well. There's a few guys out there. Jay Prentice has gone out there. And Stumpy's got the mediums on the pitch, so definitely thinking about it. Tichy's just circulating.
Yeah, we've got one of the Red Bulls coming around to finish a lap, and Dynastics coming around to start, which I think...
Perfect timing.
Yeah, I think it's perfect timing for you to do your thing this week.
Lovely jubbly, we are going to go on board with Dynastics round 8 lap of Suzuka. He's now going into turn 1. You can probably break just past that little red and white curve. Up to the inside, good exit out of the second turn into 3 and 4. You need to just glide the car through. Don't take too much curve on the inside. Through 5, we avoid the racing point there. We go nice and tight as we can to that curve. Don't screw up the speed. Towards Degdor's 1 and 2. Degdor 1, flick it in, you nearly take it out, took a little shift down. Now it's about good traction out of Degdor 2, up towards the hairpin. As he brakes just after the 100 metre board, flicks it in. As 2 goes at that though, needs a good exit because this is going to set us down up to Spoon. We saw a lot of guys using ERS down here yesterday in the race, which was interesting. Flicks it in, runs as much as he can to the outside, and once again that was pretty nicely taken. Hug the inside of the track here to try and make it as straight as possible. Now we come up to the legendary, that is 130R. Absolutely no lift, what we come to expect. Brakes for the Casio triangle, there is 16 and 17. Little kink here is 18. Hug towards the pit wall, DRS across the line, and it's only 26.5. I say only 26.5, it's the fastest medium time.
We currently have a Renault 1-2. It's a front row lockout. Looking good for them. Tracer close behind him in 3rd place. And if he stays there, he won't be moving off those tyres. So Wisey Boy then coming through the S's, up to the Dunlop curve, and down towards the Degners, through the Sector 1 split, 31.2. Just to put that into perspective, 31.2 puts him on par with Dynastics.
What's that? It's retired, so that's the second one gone at turn 3.
Yeah, he'll have clipped the curb on the inside, the back end will have stepped, and then it's just a passenger. Yeah. Wisey Boy through Spoon curve, not Spoon curve, is it Spoon? Yes, it is Spoon. So I got my bearings wrong. Coming towards the second sector split, gets a bit of a tow from Dynastics, that'll do him no harm at all. Second sector time is a 38.7. At the moment, Wisey Boy is on for pole position. Just has to get the final sector right, and he takes pole. 26.2 for Wisey Boy.
It's one for the books. If it stays that way.
If it stays that way, it'll be his first pole position in Contest of Speed. So fingers crossed on that front. But
so Caladre's Caladre's just started his lap. He's gone the medium, so depending on what the time is, this is it. This is all he's going to get off qualifying, unless he makes mistakes and will be able to.
I think he'll have enough fuel in to go again. I think that's the only reason he'd go now. Bearing in mind, unless we're bang on, we're normally around 20 seconds behind the actual timer. So the one you can see in the top left isn't always accurate. So I say we've probably got just under 3 minutes left.
Yeah, shifted up really quickly through the Dunlop curve to reduce the rear wheel spin. And neat through the hairpin. Yeah, as I said, these guys, from what I noticed yesterday, people were using ERS during the race, all the way from the hairpin down towards spoon to try and set up the overtaking moves, which was an interesting viewing.
See, I wasn't a massive fan of using it there because it's a constant curve, so you're not getting the full benefit. Yeah. Or out of the Casio triangle, maybe.
Guys hugging the left-hand side as they go through 130R. Expecting everyone to have a relatively medium downforce, I think, this evening.
And Caladre goes P4, jumps his teammate, who is on an outlap. On the mediums again, Andreas. So he thinks he can improve. But is he going to put unnecessary wear on those tyres? That's the main question. And then there's... I've
looked down the field, mate, and it is tight again. 1 second.
As always.
13.
We've got Lewis behind there, just doing the classic blank wave. For those of you who were around that long ago. And join me in feeling old. Let's ride on board with Andreas then. This is his run to try and get himself ahead of Dynastics.
Just watching the mini-map, they're all tripping over each other trying to get
Find some space. Ooh, back end stepped out through the Dunlop curve, but he's held it.
Lots of guys through sector 2 on outlaps as well.
No, so, Andreas is gone! Degnes!
That's it, done, run over.
That's it, he's gone.
What will happen with his tyres now? That would be...
Officially, he'll get a fresh set of mediums because they're the same set and they've been essentially destroyed in the accident. I don't know what the game will do.
Still battling for position.
But we'll have to wait and see for Andreas and see what comes out of that.
Lewis is up massively actually, 4 tenths, so that's going to put him right in the mix. That's about P7. Got to just hold it together, don't run too deep into the chicane and try and find extra time. That's the mistake I did in my qualifying yesterday, and threw away at 10th and a half. And gains a bit of time up to P5. Good from Lewis. Continues this consistent run of form that he's had recently. You all know has made a mistake.
He was getting out of the way of Perez, who's...
Well, I think he's had a mistake in his lap because...
he's backed out of the lap, yeah. He backed out in the S's.
Who else is up? Joel is up marginally. I tell you what, this is looking like a P11 jobby if I've ever seen it, only marginally up, so we know what the time is. 26.6.
Good luck from Joel.
He'll be happy.
He will.
I've seen him go quicker this week in practice.
Perez not on a good lap here, and I imagine he'll bail out of it just to try and save the wear on those tyres. Nearly 7 tenths down already. It's going to finish though.
See what Dan was up to. Dan was 2 tenths up earlier on. And goes second, 26.4, headed Jonathan Cox.
Good luck from Dan. Don Armo on a run now, heading down the back straight, but I think he's coming in, yeah. So it's Dynastics and Jonathan Cox then, the only two. And Tichy.
Make the move, it's going to be high 26s.
Oh, Jonathan Cox steals pole from Wisey Boy. And Dynastics did not improve.
No, and I wouldn't be surprised that if he got some slipstream of the Dynastics because of how close those two were following.
I would agree with you there. We didn't spot any, but certainly likely.
So we're just waiting for Lewis to go on the pits, but that's it, all qualifying, and down there for about 16 places. 1 second, pretty much.
Yep.
That is a pretty good round. Quite difficult, what can be a difficult technical track.
The thing that I'm finding quite interesting is that nobody managed to match the time of Rage Knights from yesterday. Now, obviously, we've got Dynastics, Caladre, and Dracer, who's dropped a P9 on those on that time. Those guys are on the mediums, and we know that they could go quicker and probably could get ahead of Jonathan Cox, but the fact that nobody else has got close either shows they're running a little bit more wing than they would normally, or that lap yesterday from Race Nights was just something special.
Yeah, even second and third, I think, me, myself and Connor was 26-4, and that probably would have put us, well, there you go, 26-4, Dan's done exactly the same, so I think, yeah, tier 2 and tier 3, getting a little bit closer, but obviously, I think some of these guys would have prepared for the wet weather that's to come, so we won't know that. Lewis has got a 5-place grid penalty. I don't know who that is for. Juventus, so he's had a collision with Claudio.
Interesting. Neither did I.
And there's nothing much I can do about it.
No.
So everyone will actually bump up one, so Andreas would be P8.
And
it'll be interesting to see how he does, because Ricky started on the mediums. Actually, for all three medium runners in the top 10, the mediums were not great off the line, but they were able to keep up with the pack, as it was very difficult to overtake yesterday.
Yeah, so I managed to jump 2 off the start, and I was on the soft tyres. The 2 ahead of me, well, one of the 2 ahead of me was on mediums, the other one just bogged down. I think didn't have the revs up high enough. It was quite a quick start yesterday, wasn't it? Lights went out pretty quickly, so I think there's a little mistake made there, but couldn't be helped. Got myself up 2 places, and then obviously things happened yesterday to me that I'm not going to talk about.
Thank you for bringing in the people, Ricky. I see you lurking about, as he always does.
Good man. I was hoping he would race tonight, but now I see why he couldn't.
Caladre Dynastics Dan from Blaze. That's Crimson Blaze.
Yeah.
That races EU4.
Caladre looking to make it a hat trick? It is, isn't it? Yeah, Netherlands, Hungary, and then
Russia in between.
Who won in Russia? I can't remember. Was it? Oh, I'm going senile. No. Oh, someone help! Help!
It was a Renault. It was Dynastics, possibly. You'll know.
Yeah, it'd be Dynastics then. Yeah. So.
It's really got it wrong. Oh, look at them! They're all being very
well behaved.
So
yeah.
we all know what's going to happen here.
Arbar will press it in a second.
Arbar will press it, and they all will follow, because it'll be 1 more minute.
Yeah.
Now there it is.
So we have TAS up and running. We've got air temperature 20 degrees, track temperature 28 degrees, and cloudy conditions.
Kit's gone with a prediction. Danny's gone Caladre, Dracer and Arbar. Well, why am I not surprised? He's gone with his 2 Haas constructors teammates, and he's gone with one of his fellow AM drivers.
Yeah. Could have gone with Claudio.
Could have done.
Because Claudio used to race in this tier before he decided to grow up and be responsible and go to university.
Pour that.
Oh, and there was me thinking that he was one of the ones who would be dedicated.
Back in season 3, I believe.
Yeah, season 3 was the last news. Yeah.
Tyres. Let's talk tyres.
Yes, let's.
Dynamo, by the way, in a good position now. So that P11 he had is now on fresh mediums. Perez has done the same. Stumpy's got the mediums, so has fallen. And Tichy and Rosa have gone with the hard tyre. Interesting choice. Lewis, Jamie, Yorno, and Ventus have decided to be a bit more aggressive.
I think Rosa's done. He's done the unthinkable and spun it on the formation lap.
It's fine.
But he'll be able to get some good temperature into those hard tyres now.
It'll be nice and toasty by the time he gets to the back of the grid. And once it's starting. Someone's tyres is not going to be nice and toasty. Andreas to Scott for
Yes.
A rough couple of minutes for the championship leader.
But starting P8, we'll see what percentage wear his tyres are, whether the game has fabricated him a fresh set of scrubs or whether he's got a brand new set.
If he had the same set on, he was probably pushing towards about 5-6%, maybe a bit more.
I would have probably gone for about 8, to be fair. He was going for a second run, so...
God, there's a lot of weaving on. Love it. And from one side of the track to the other. Oh, blank you would be brown.
Yeah, the classic blank wave. Jonathan Cox then leading the field around. Wisey Boy in second place. Dan in third, Dynastics fourth, Caladre fifth, then the McLarens, Jay Prentice and Joel, then Dracer, P8.
Yeah. Both of them currently got themselves in the mix. Forget these guys of EU3 and EU4 respective, but we've qualifying. I'm probably expecting the guys on the mediums maybe to lose a place each on the first lap. That first corner is going to be, it's a lot tighter than you think.
Yeah, definitely is. You don't really want to be going too wide into there, especially at the early stages. But they won't care about that too much then. We get ready to go racing at Suzuka. The lights will go out, we ignore them. We're used to this by now, we wait for the revs to build. And away we go in Japan. It's a good start from all the leaders, it looks like, but Wisey Boy looks to have got the jump on Jonathan Cox. He's going to have the inside into turn one. Jonathan Cox will hold it round the outside, space given, and the Racing Point slides into the lead.
Does indeed, a couple of guys off. Lewis made a great start through the charge through the field. He's up to 8.
Speaking of people who've had a shocking start, Dracer down in 15th place, 7 places lost off the start, and to make matters worse, he's got a scrubbed set of tyres.
Scrub set. I'll tell you what he would like though. Caladre jumped Dynastics off the start, Danny.
Oh, good job there, teammate doing his work.
Oh no, Dracer's hit the back of Stumpy.
Jonathan Cox all over Wisey Boy. Went for a move into Degner 1, so you can tell how close he is.
Dracer's hit the back of Stumpy. He's got front right wing damage already. So
he has, and significant damage at that. Jonathan Cox diving down the inside of Wisey Boy into the spoon curve. Contact made, but the Racing Point holds the lead.
Other good move as well. Yorno's up 3, I think. Oh, Jamie's had a spin. Jamie's down at the back of the grid now. So Dynamo regains 1 place back. Juventus and Stumpy up 4. Yorno up 3. Side by side with Lewis through 130R. That would have been a little bit sketchy. Lewis will run out of room, and that will be it.
Jonathan Cox had a poor run through the Casio Triangle on 130R. It's allowed Dan to go side by side down towards turn 1. On the inside, the Williams. Looks like he's going to hold position. We can't see at the moment. Jonathan Cox keeps it round the outside though.
And breathe.
So, like you said, big winners then. We're looking at Juventus and Stumpy and Fallen, and then losers Dracer, Jamie. But those guys having stopped now onto the hard tyres, they will be able to go until the rain appears.
Dynas, we got a yellow.
And that's Jamie round, yeah. At turn 1, cold hard tyres.
Dynastics 90% ERS, the same with Jack in 6th. I think Jack's learned a lot from yesterday actually. He's running the EU3 to bring it to EU2 today. As Juventus is the first victim.
Jonathan Cox going for a move towards 130R. He's on the inside. Wisey Boy tries to hold it round the outside. I think he's going to. He's going to be on the inside for the triangle. And Jonathan Cox has taken the lead of the Grand Prix.
I'll tell you what, Dan's loving this. The guys in front of him spending all that energy. Wisey Boy thinks about it.
Riding on board with the Williams in 3rd position. As we just watch on. Joel and Lewis having a scrap down the main straight.
Lewis, I'll tell you what, Yorno's going to go down the inside of Lewis. That was a little bit rude, but effective at the same time.
Elbows are out, handbags at dawn. Oh, Yorno though! He's had a moment as well. Oh, and Joel's had a poor run through the Dunlop, and that's Yorno through.
So Yorno making the moves. Saw the great pace he had last week at Hungary when he wasn't in traffic, and he'll be looking to do the same. Oh,
I think Joel's got a problem. He's losing ground. I don't know what's going on, but I think he's got a problem.
Yeah, he's just run wide again. So
there's no wing damage to speak of, so I don't know if he's stuck in a low engine mode or.
No idea, but he's got Stumpy behind, and this could be what, full pace. He's gone straight off.
He's gone very wide.
He's got some kind of problem, I feel.
We'll keep an eye on that and see what's happening with Joel. It's a real shame. He'd done well in qualifying and was up there with his teammate, and he's into the pits.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's something he can't fix. It could be, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I wonder if there was a wheel issue there, potentially.
We'll find out. I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, we will. Go do some detective work.
Medium guys have not been dropped.
Caladre runs wide through the Dunlop curve, and that allows Dynastics back up the inside. Kicks up some dirt in gratitude.
Andreas went to hard and set the fastest lap of the race. That said something, I feel.
He's in clear air as well, don't forget, so the back of the pack, or the back of the main pack, isn't miles off. That's Joel's car retiring, so no need to worry about that flag, but the back of the pack isn't a mile away from Dynastics, so if Andreas can push now, he might actually get out ahead of him in terms of relative position for the pit stops.
Juventus just runs wide, and that gives Lewis the opportunity to close onto the back of Mercedes. He's going to look to go side by side. Juventus give him the room, fair enough. He's a little bit out of shape. He'll set himself up. That's the gap that's developing between the top 8 have gone. There's another way of saying it. They have gone. It was near 3 seconds.
Bolted. Just keeping an eye now on the battle for the lead. Wisey Boy with DRS on Jonathan Cox, but that Renault a bullet in a straight line.
Yeah, Yorno's just set the fastest lap, Danny, and that pretty much backed up the point that we saw last week. He was in clear air and he has gained 1.3 seconds. These guys are left alone. Jack just struggling a little bit in P6.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit yesterday later on in the stint. Still had good pace, but not quite on the level of those around him, so potentially a repeat issue there for him. Meanwhile, the front three are starting to make mistakes. Those tyres now approaching the end of their useful life.
Speaking of mistakes, Jonathan Cox with that penalty, by the way.
Yeah, he ran wide on the entrance to turn 3 and forced himself to cut the corner, which is where that final warning came from.
That's just a very odd place to pick up that warning.
Potential reason for why the front 8 have been allowed to get away. Juventus has wing damage. Slight wing damage, but it's on the right hand side, so any left hand corners, so the S's, the Dunlop, spoon 130R, he will have reduced downforce and reduced cornering ability. I think we could see him move for third place here. Dynastics all over the back of Dan's Williams. But that front wing he took off earlier is paying dividends now. And Stumpy's retired at the triangle. And VSC is out.
On track. I'll tell you what, Ethan's done incredibly well there, because I don't think it ghosted.
Let's ride on board with Andreas and see if we can spot the stricken Alpha. Stumpy, of course, having recently moved to the wheel, so what do we think happened there?
Don't know, but speaking of wheels, it was what we thought. I'm not going to repeat what Spud said, but Joel's wheel is
knackered.
Yes. So that's a force retirement. I did think that it looked very strange from our end. It's unfortunate for Joel. Hopefully he get that sorted out for Thursday. He's still got his EU2 race to attend to this week.
Yeah, he's been saying recently that he needs to consider a new... Oh, Jonathan Cox, drive-through penalty! And he's got 3 laps to serve that, and that'll come right across his pit window. That, barring a full safety car, is Jonathan Cox out of the rain for this race.
Until the rain later, when it comes, it could spice it up.
Could do.
I'm just going to check to see if anyone else. No, it's just Jonathan Cox. So
yeah.
Wisey boy. Well, if he keeps down behind, we'll take a net, the effective net lead. Comes in straight away. He almost picked up 3 seconds for his troubles.
So looking at the tyre wear then, the front runners, Jonathan Cox of course comes in to serve that now. Front runners are on around 45% wear.
Yeah, it's not horrendous, but I did expect it to be that because they're running so closely together. Wiseboy able to defend on that straight because he had DRS from Jonathan Cox, who then pitted. We have a yellow sector 1, I think it's Yorno, Danny.
It is Yorno, had a spin I think.
Just really still ghosted, be careful, please.
And thinks better of it, lets Don Armour go. Looking at Yorno's tyres, they're still relatively good.
Yeah, no significant damage either, but it's just going to kind of ruin his progress he was making throughout. He was getting to the close to the front. Arbar has kind of not been able to keep up. And has the least ERS as well out of these front 5. So,
yeah, I think Arbar now is going to be in a race of his own to try and hold on to that place. Maybe get the jump on Dan and Wiseboy. Speaking of,
loving the ERS. Jay Prentice was.
Oh, Dynastics around the outside of the triangle, which becomes the inside for the second part. Dan was lining up the move on Wiseboy.
Dan's going to come in.
Yeah, Pitts going for the undercut then.
That's not. Yeah, that's probably a good move to be fair to him. Will he go to mediums and bank on the rain at the end? That is the question.
Well, mediums will struggle from here. Last 4 or 5 laps, he will be hurting if the rain doesn't come.
Yeah,
and he's gone. He's gone for mediums.
What else is that? Actually, all of it.
And the man.
He's done for mediums as well.
Yeah, so they'll be hoping for rain. Track and air temperature have dropped by 2 degrees since the start of the race, by the way. So it's cooling off. The clouds are coming over.
All I'm going to say is look who has only just come up just behind Yorno, by the way.
Yeah, Andreas. Those two can work together. And hopefully will do to get themselves back in contention. We've got 3 drivers currently out there on track with wing damage, and all of them are together. That's Juventus, Fallen and Tichy.
I'll tell you what, Wiseboy's under the coach, and that's an understatement.
Yeah, he will be from Dynastics, but if Wiseboy is seriously considering going for this race victory, he'll need to pit this lap anyway to try and cover Dan off.
He's going to try and hold it round the outside, Wiseboy, and he'll probably hold it down for the inside as well.
No, Dynastics does what he did to Dan, slings one round the outside of the triangle, and is able to take the position, and Wiseboy does indeed pit. So then, let's jump back to Dan in P13. same number as he wears on the car. See what happens here. Wisey Boy is in, and he's gone for the hard tyre, so Wisey Boy will go to the end from here.
He's saying one stop, pit windows open, so not massively early. Wisey Boy just coming out.
And Dan's got him on the undercut. And crucially, will Rosa be able to get ahead? No, so no traffic to get through for Wisey Boy, but he has lost nearly 2 seconds over the course of that lap. We knew Dan was quicker anyway, as he was getting ready to line up a move before Dynastics went for his audacious overtake.
The good news for Dracer is that Calandro is still within DRS, both hovering around similar DRS deployment. It's got very dark.
It has. We've officially gone into overcast and track temperature has plummeted. We're now at 25 degrees. We started at around 30. So
that's going to help the mediums more than the hards.
Yeah, it is. And anybody on the soft tyres still will be getting a little bit of a benefit from that.
See that already. Dan's just stretching away from Wisey Boy at this moment in time. Dynastics, once it's been released, to set the fastest lap of the race. That didn't take long.
R-bar is in, and medium tyres. Lewis as well.
I expect the same from Lewis, I feel here.
I think he'll go hards.
He's as well.
Yeah. Jonathan Cox is still going.
So, Jay Prentice as well, by the way.
Yeah, those guys still going. Maybe trying to stretch them out so they can guarantee mediums will get to the end if the rain doesn't come. That's probably what I would have gone for. Either that or plan for a 2-stop maybe, trying to factor in a safety car or some other shenanigans later on.
6 seconds now for Jonathan Cox.
Yeah, he's got himself a little bit rattled, I think. Needs to just calm himself, get himself back in the running.
We saw this last week with first, he even said himself, the first 10 laps he got 6 seconds worth of penalties and then he was fine afterwards.
Yeah, and it cost him the win ultimately last week. Although he's lining up a move on F1 Perez now. Heading down towards the spoon curve with Tichy just ahead of them.
Yeah, Dan's closing in on these guys. Just a bit. Wisey Boy is, yeah, those hards are just not firing for him at the moment. Look how close R-bar is compared to where they were prior to the pit stops.
Those hard tyres won't perform straight away. Obviously, they will need a little bit longer to warm through.
I've seen this before.
Jay Prentice into the pits. Jonathan Cox is going again.
Yeah, R-bar's gone round the outside of Wisey Boy, and that move, the moment is done. However, Wisey Boy's got the DRS and the overtake, and he's going to go straight back.
R-bar's made the mistake of defending the inside. Great camera angle for it, but Wisey Boy not quite able to hold it on those tyres. Turn 1 here, one of the few corners you actually want to defend the outside so you can hold the car and sling through to turn 2.
Yeah, Jonathan Cox actually now doing a favour for Dynastics, his teammate, just holding Dan up. Didn't manage to get past.
Well, I think the reason for that is he's got wing damage, so I think he's gone into the back of Perez.
Yeah, not visual, so only slightly by the...
Yes, 19% according to TAS.
That's quite significant, to be fair.
That's a significant dropping down for us. And Dan right up behind him now through the spoon curve, and will probably...
He probably wants to get this done.
Yeah, Jonathan Cox lets him go.
R-bar was on the charge, by the way. That absolutely brilliant middle sector.
Yeah, and still is, so... I think we'll see Jonathan Cox come into the pits now.
Wisey Boy's absolutely spent on ERS, but he's trying to keep up with R-bar and use the DRS to just stay with.
Should be good.
Finally in.
Meanwhile, out front then, Dynastics and Caladre still holding that gap at around 6-7 tenths. Donamo in third place, 10 seconds behind them. Then we've got Fallen, Tichy and Perez before the first of the guys to stop. That's Dan in P7.
Can we have a gap to leader, please?
We can. It's 21.4 seconds between Dynastics and the first man to stop, which is Dan. So
someone has gone off. Who was that? Can't see it.
I think it was Jonathan Cox coming out of the pits.
I think there's a Mercedes going quite. Yeah, it is. I did think it was. Juventus has got front wing damage again.
Yeah, he has 25% on the front right, and that to me looks like it might be the Dunlop curve.
We're just waiting, aren't we, really? What is going to happen with these guys?
With the weather more than anything else. Air and track temperature have stabilised at 18 and 25. But we're getting a little bit of a mist in the air, would you say? Bit of a haze.
Dan's lining up the move on Perez.
Gets that done early.
So Tichy's next one up. Dynamo, by the way, up to third. Casually minding his own business.
Yeah, driving a good race there.
I'm only 11 seconds off the lead, and it may come across the wrong way, but that's probably the closest he's been for a while to some of the quicker guys.
Yeah, he's been in a couple of incidents, hasn't he? Not his fault. They're all racing incidents, of course, but he's that involved in little scuffles in traffic and just little things that keep him from having a good run at the race. And it seems like he's got himself a clear space in the traffic to really go off and make up some ground. Dan though.
These guys that have gone on the wheel as well, as you were saying.
Round the outside of Tichy, which becomes the inside for Spoon Curve, those fresh medium tyres. No match for the ageing hards of the Alfa Romeo.
It's working wonders at the moment. Trying to put the curse on it.
Then we can see we've got a good gap to Titch. Checking the gap to leader then, 20.7 now the gap for Dan to Dynastics, closed up just under a second on that lap.
Oh, and Wisey boy, I did think about it. Harris has come in, so what is he going to go on? He's sort of halfway house here.
He'll go hards. It's the only thing he can go on to, but it
probably should have done it earlier. And he's going to go on the hards.
You see, the thing, if you're going to pit now, you'd be better off going on to you'd be better off going another couple of laps and then going on to the softs and stopping from there. And then if the rain comes, great. You'll have the advantage there. But if it doesn't, then you'll be really quick at the end and you'll probably make up some places with people on aging tyres.
Yeah, just a few guys came out and on actually. Top four obviously haven't pitted. Tichy's on the hard, still doing a reasonable job in P6. Otherwise closing in. And then Wisey Boy and Yorno, followed by Joe Prentice, and then there you go. Andreas is there, P11. Although the tyres are going to be absolutely struggling.
Yeah, they're not going to be in a good place. So looking at what Don Amos sent me during qualifying, we are now into the middle stage of the race, which is overcast. And then at 45 minutes it said the rain was going to come down, so I reckon around lap 24, 25 we'll get the rain, which possibly earlier, yeah. And we've got, that's Rosa.
As James Prentice and Dracer, very close.
Rosa's gone again.
Boy, and Arvo got past Tichy into turn one. It's because those rear tyres are going to be hot. Just got to be.
Yep.
Going to carry on.
He is a good man. Rosa leaving us at the end of this season temporarily again to head off and serve, so he'll be sorely missed, but when he comes back we shall welcome him again with open arms.
Another one turns to the wheel. Only a few races. It's like a wheel takeover.
I'll be honest, I think the majority of this tier is actually on the wheel now. From what I understand, Donamo is, Titch, Tracer,
Jack is as well.
Jack, yeah, Rosa,
Claudio.
yeah, Claudio is, I think Jamie is, Perez, yeah. The only ones I don't know about are Dynastics, Caladre and Yorno. I would imagine though at least one of them will be on a wheel.
Speaking of, Yorno's just gone fast that and has now dispatched Titch into turn 1.
Yep, as Tracer goes past Jay Prentice as well into turn 1 to get himself into the points.
Yeah, and he did that probably done a lap ago. He did try, just wasn't quite there to try and think about the championship. Gap to lead 28.2. Pit stop time around here is. Got it.
Oh. Go on. I was trying to work it out then.
23 seconds.
So 23 seconds then would put Dynastics just behind Yorno, between him and Tichy. Depending on when he decides to come in. So right now then, Dan is the net leader of this race. Currently in P5.
And Arvar just ever so slightly coming back at him. Those are about the same pace they have been pretty much all year as well, to be fair to them.
Yeah, they have. And had we not had those superhumans that we have at the front of the pack, that would have been quite a nice championship battle.
Yes. Well, obviously we had Tracer beforehand. Oh, Rosa, I'm just thinking you've done very well to keep that out of the barrier. Yeah, just obviously Tracer was in before, and that would have been quite interesting. Three-way battle for P14. This could end in tears. F1 Perez has gone past Claudio and Jonathan Cox.
It's raining, Matt. The rain's here. I've just noticed that the air temperature was dropping again, and you can see it over the top of the halo of Juventus.
Well, Claudio's going down the inside.
No, contact with Perez. He's held it somehow, but there is wing damage there again for Claudio.
I'll tell you what, Jonathan Cox has done incredibly well to
avoid it. Yeah.
Caladre 3 seconds as well, so it's just getting a little bit slippy out there.
Yeah, it is. Those guys out front trying desperately to make these tyres last until the rain comes. Dynastics approaching the 75% mark on some of his tyres.
Top 4 have done incredibly well, and they've seemed to have pulled out a strategic masterclass. They
have, yeah. Donamo and Fallen in particular, very much so, have looked after their tyres extremely well. Donamo especially, the rears. Still only in the 50s, where Dynastics is in the 70s.
Back and Fallen. And he's had to follow in the pits. That's a bit annoying. Oh, I don't know what he's going to go on.
I think they're going to be gambling for Inters.
Oh,
Has to be.
He's going to have to now. It's not for a choice either. But
yeah, Dan's gone for Inters. Fallen's gone softs. And now we'll see the difference. It just depends how fast this rain comes down.
Yeah, Dan got caught out there by Fallen entering the pits. He was lining up for the movement. Yeah, just one of those things, I feel.
Yeah, it's unlucky.
It's going to be. Oh, that, yeah, it's not time.
He's not quite yet.
If he
but
can keep on the track and hang it out, he may be okay. But
yeah, if it comes in the next lap or so, he might still gain some advantage from it.
Apart from just now stopping again.
No, it's still coming down, but He's struggling a lot out there.
Meanwhile, his teammates doing a good job in P3.
Dynamo is the only one here I think can make it either to the end or to when the rain arrives. He's in a very good place at the moment. The two guys ahead of him, I think, will have to stop again before the end of the race.
I've just seen the state of his right front though, it looks very angry.
Dynamo's right front, 64%. His left front is 67%. It just ticked over to it, and that is the most worn tyre. Just to put that into context, he is 12% on average better off than Dynastics.
So Fawn's going to go past Jamie. That was down the straight.
And then just to fan those flames a little bit more for Dynastics having to stop again, the rear tyres are 15% worse than Dynamo's.
Yeah. Caladre has just slipped out of the 1 second for the first time in a long time. He's just beginning to struggle. Dynastics with the ERS advantage is now using that.
That's Perez off sector 1, and I think that was a reset to track there.
I saw that part.
So there's a penalty coming his way for that one.
Dan can't even get up through 5th gear through the Dunlop. That's how much he's coaxing round. Is this going to be another Brazil from season 4? Or Russia?
Could be.
Where it's raining,
but never enough. Possibly. Although the slower they're going, which of course they now will, with it being colder and more damp, we get closer to the point where it's more likely to. It will happen at some point, it's just whether we get there. Dracer gets past Wisey Boy into turn 1.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for a puncture for the front 3.
Dynastics is into puncture range. Of course, 80% plus we count as being in significant chance of a puncture. He's in that now for all 4 tyres. And that's Perez. And he's got serious front wing damage. I think we could be getting close here.
Still not quite, I don't think.
Yeah, Caladre now approaching that point significantly. Dynamo's still a fair way off. His front left is the one showing the most wear at the moment. Dynastics must be praying. Caladre's in. Caladre's blinked first.
Will he go to... I reckon he'll go to softs.
He has to. He can't go to inters now.
The inters aren't good enough, yeah.
Yeah, Caladre to softs. So, Dynamo we know can carry on. That's not an issue. He can go for another 2 or 3 laps at a minimum before he has to consider stopping. Dynastics, if I'm him, I'd be in this time round. It's not worth the gamble. Because if he gets a puncture at the wrong time...
Fallen is past Lewis, that was into turn 1. I've got past Yorno. Yorno on the move, by the way, again.
Track temperature coming down again. I think we're going to be experiencing some more cloud soon. I'm just keeping...
I was just flicking down to see how the Inter was doing. That was... No. 130 was a little bit scary.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on Dynastics because these tyres... It's making me think that the Force is real from Star Wars, keeping them together. Locking up doesn't help, man.
God, I was weaving. Trying to keep temperature in.
Dynastics has finally at 85%, well 88, 85, 85, 84 has to come into the pits for a set of soft tyres.
Don Hammer's going to do the same. I really thought Don Hammer was going to just stay out there longer.
He could have done,
So
but...
Yorno's in the best position if it doesn't rain.
Yeah, he is, although I would imagine the guys on softs will just fly. Caladra's got the jump on Dynastics. Look who's just behind. Andreas is back in the running.
It's the closest he's seen him all race.
Yeah, if it finishes like this, damage limitation, I think Andreas will take it given the race he's had. Don Amo's gone inters.
He won't though, this is the problem. Because Dynastics will get the win, because Caladro's, well, he'll get another place because Caladro's got VSC. That's because Dan is off somewhere.
Yeah, Don Amo's gone for inters as well. Be a mistake. But the track temperature is continuing slowly now as well.
Ooh, Ros's.
That's 130R. 130R. DRS enabled again.
I'm surprised that's not a safety car where he is.
I think because it happened during a VSC, they've got away with it. Any other time, I think it would be.
I've lost so much time to Caladro.
Just keeping an eye on the weather, just to see what's happening. So Yorno out front then.
Drake's just come in.
Is
he's just about got it stopped. Jesus.
What's he going for though? That's the question.
Inters. He has to. Yeah, he's done it as well. He's gone to inters.
He's gone to inters. Ooh.
Lewis has got past Tichy. Tichy can't slow down. Boy. Oh. Jamie's just about got it slowed down.
Full safety car.
It is. They're all struggling.
The thing, the crossover point hasn't happened yet. I think the only tyre that works now is the soft. The thing is though, the guys on the inters, they have to stay out now. There's no point them coming back in again, even under the safety car. It's just going to cost them too much time. They have to stay out and hope that the rain just decides to drop out of the sky on these last couple of laps.
Juventus got it soft. So what do you do if you're Yorno Marble? You stay out there?
I'd stay out if I'm Arbar. Yorno, he might as well, to be fair, he might as well. Because if he comes in, he's definitely going to give up track position. He's going to end up probably outside the top 5, maybe outside the top 10, depending on what else happens. Arbar's come in! Why would you do that?
So he's coming for inters. He's coming for inters. They really think that, they're obviously thinking that that's how much time they're going to gain because they're on soft, they're on the dry.
Yeah, this could all be completely different to what you can see come the end of the race. The front three at the moment: Yorno, Caladre, Dynastics. Jay Prentice up to 4th. Arbar comes out of the pits in P5, so not a massive loss for him, but a lot of guys behind stopping as well. Dracer should get some places back because of that. Indeed he does. He's up to P10. But there's... there we go. TAS has officially changed now to light rain, so those guys on the inters, and Arbar in particular, might have just pulled a master stroke.
Well, may pulled a master stroke. We're talking about weather specialists here, and look, there's 2 of them in 8th and 10th.
Yeah, there are.
Albeit one's recently gone to a wheel, but
do you know what? I'm gonna make a bold prediction here. I'm gonna make the prediction of Donamo, Dracer, Unknown as my podium 3, in that order. all of these guys are bunched up behind the safety car now at the front, and they're going to want to stop for inters.
It's the temperature.
Yeah, it's dropping again. But there is now a significant quantity of rain. Once the DRS is disabled, there's no going back. It's
going to be what, 2 laps? We're going to have 2 laps sprint finish.
Depends. It might come in this time round. If it does, they might have a reprieve at the front. But no, it's carrying on again. It's going again. So yeah, we're going to have 2 lap sprint finish as a minimum.
It's just going to be, if it is that changeover point, they're just going to be sitting.
If I'm Yono, I'm stopping.
Did he drop it?
Yeah, if I was Yono, I would have stopped there for inters and just taken the gamble, because the penalty is going to put him behind it a significant number of guys anyway.
Joe Prentice is next second.
I'm going to change my prediction. I've just spotted Arbar there on inters. I'm going to put Arbar, Don Armo, Dracer.
I thought you knew he was on inters.
No, I forgot about that. I forgot about him. Sorry, Matt, I forgot. But no, I think Arbar is now in prime position to win this race, assuming the rain keeps coming. If it comes down fast enough, he's just going to cruise round. The only reprieve these leaders have is that it's not quite heavy enough yet to really soak the track.
See, I was going to say they have got a small problem, but I think Dan is out the way. Yeah, he is. I would love to know if there's anyone racing engineering, what they know the drivers feel like. I would love to know what they're thinking.
Yeah, I think they'll all be too busy to type to us, if I'm honest.
Ross just thinks it's not going to get worse.
Well, I don't know. I honestly don't. The thing, it's all well and good them all being behind the safety car and having a good time and keeping the heat in them. Once they get back up to racing speed, when they're putting full load through those tyres, I honestly wouldn't want to call it. Any other track, then yeah, until DRS is disabled, slicks all the way. But here, with all the adverse camber and high load situations, I wouldn't want to put a slick tyre through that on a greasy surface. Safety car should come in this lap. We're heading towards the Sector 2 split, where we will find out. The lights go off.
All I'm going to say is good luck AM2, because you still don't know what strategy is the best to choose.
Nope.
In a full race.
So then, what's going to happen here? Yono gets ready to lead the field away.
Is that carnage?
Well, I see. I think Yono's gone.
But doesn't. Oh, he's tiptoeing round. Look at it. Yeah, look at his wet. Arbar's got such a better traction. He can't overtake Jay Prentice yet, but that's it. He's already gone past him. Done.
The soft runners will have the temperature in the tyres with the softer compound of rubber, but Yono could be kingmaker here if he keeps Dynastics behind. But Yono, he's gone straight on. He had nothing through turn 1. Absolutely nothing.
They're all going deep. Look, he's got no grip. Arbar's up to 3rd already.
Arbar, the man making moves. He could get his first win in Tier 2 here if he can get himself ahead of those two in front.
Go on board with Don Amo. Look how much more grip he's got compared to the two just sitting in front. Look, but just falling off the circuit.
Yeah, and this is the one position it's going to have. Yeah, both of these guys will be careful, lads. You're both going to have some good advantage to take. You've got another lap yet.
I knew that was coming.
Fighting between themselves. Arbar, though, going for a battle with the leading pair. Both of them on soft top. Look at that! Look at that! Traction bonus! Look at him go! Round the outside! Gets squeezed out of it. He was able to cut back underneath.
Oh, Don Amo's gone. He's down to 12th.
Yeah, I think him and Dracer have hit each other, because Dracer has significant wing damage as well, 38%.
Yeah, but he's still going to be better. Oh, and why is he boy nearly got forward's going to go down the inside. Titch is going to mug both of them off. There goes Titch.
Up to P7. This can all still change. Caladre holding up Arbar. What if he's going to be thinking about the championship? What he needs to do is let that Red Bull go and overtake Dynastics. 18 points is a lot worse than 25. One lap now for Arbar. He's got ahead of Caladre. Yorno still holding on to P4 somehow, but with a massive tank slapper down the main straight. Drace has got back through. He's in 5th now. Past Yorno into 4th. Here comes Racer down the inside. Lewis into 5th. Great drive from him. Tichy now. P7 all over the back of Yorno. I'm going to jump back to the leads though. Ava.
Oh, he's got to be so careful. He's got to hang around the outside. We'll have to hang around the outside of 6. He will do. There it is. He's done that one.
Yeah, we'll get a multi-2-1 at Haas, I think. Dracer will overtake Caladre. Ava now. All over the back of Dynastics all the time. The track cooling, the air cooling, the track getting more and more wet. Caladre on the grass, tank slapper stepped out the back. Arbar takes the lead round the outside of the hairpin. Oh, he's just got to bring it home. Drace has got quite a long way to go to catch Dynastics, but I think Caladre with his penalty will. That's Donamo gone.
He's dropped it all the way down, so he's just got probably dropped it on the curve, no traction, he's got all the way down the end.
Yeah, Arbar though, streaking away at the front of the pack. He made the call. And he's going to take victory here in quite an extraordinary end to proceedings.
Lewis has dropped it! No, Lewis has dropped it!
We've got a Mercedes off at the spoon and Lewis has dropped it through 130R. But it doesn't matter though, Arbar wins the Japanese Grand Prix in Tier 2. Dynastics comes home 2nd. Dracer will take 3rd ahead of Caladre. Tichy gets P4.
Lewis can still get 6th here, I think.
Lewis takes it, Wisey Boy holds position. Lewis P6, Fallen P7, Wisey Boy P8, Yorno P9. Having led off the restart, Jay Prentice gets a point in 10th for McLaren. Jonathan Cox 11th. Jamie in 12th place will come across the line. Jump ahead of Jonathan Cox. Juventus a fair way back with some wing damage there. Must have been him that dropped it coming out of spoon curve. Dan is at the back of the pack and nearly lost it coming across the line. What a finish that was.
And breathe.
Yeah, I need a minute here. That was unbelievable. Tier 2 not disappointing yet again, giving us something exciting. Arbar with the victory then. Almost came from nowhere. We thought he'd gone and pitted early onto those inters, but it turned out to be the move that gave him the opportunity to push for the win. Still had the moves to make, but when the rain came, he made it all count for himself and takes victory then here at Suzuka. Dynastics in 2nd place will be happy, I think. Gains himself 3 points over Andreas, who finished 3rd for the Drivers' Championship. Tichy P4, he'll be very pleased, I think, with that. Caladre P5 after penalties. Grand scheme of things, I think he'll take it. Racer P6, unfortunate at the end to lose ground. Would have been higher up, I think, otherwise. Fallen P7, great recovery from him, having started off right down the pack in 18th place. Wisey Boy in P8, having started 2nd. The race he's had, I think he'll be pleased. Yorno P9, again, good drive in the race from him, starting 13th. Jay Prentice in 10th, having reserved from EU3, he'll be very pleased. Jamie in P11, Claudio Juventus P12, Jonathan Cox P13, Donamo classified P14, and Dan P15. Williams having started so well, unfortunately losing out towards the end. Fastest lap at the end, I believe, was Yorno in P9. So an extra point for AlphaTauri there. This is Arvar's first victory, by the way, in at least in EU2. I'll be honest, I'm not sure about AM1. I'll be honest, I'm going to stick my neck out here and say that this is his first win. I'll caveat it when we interview him and say first EU2 win. Here he is.
Hello.
Our first win in EU2!
Second.
Damn it, Tass lies to me! First win since Tass came into effect.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, no one noticed.
You hung
So
your
go
neck
on.
on that.
I did. The axe fell and took it off, but I hung it out there. Anyway, come on. Arvar, talk us through it, man. Talk us through it. How are you feeling?
I was kind of a bundle of nerves during that safety car restart because Yuv was in the party with me and he was on fresh softs and he kept saying how great they felt and how he thought it was right. So there was a bit of anxiety for that, but yeah, no, I'm just glad it worked out.
So yeah, we obviously. I did make a prediction with a couple of laps to go that you would be on at least on the podium, and I did say you'd win. But I don't think even I would have predicted the gap in performance to be that strong so soon after everybody having come into the pits. Was it a surprise for you towards the end, just how much more grip you had?
Oh, like on the inters compared to the softs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really. As soon as, like, you know, it was raining, I figured that the inters, the wet tire, were, like, gonna be a lot faster. I was scared, though, because I think the Elastics pulled, like, 2 seconds to Ladre, so there was a bit of doubt, but, I think I don't know, man. It is what it is, it worked out.
Yeah, race victory's all that matters, isn't it, really? So, congratulations on, mate. That was well driven. Brilliant strategy call. And Alps in there. Alps in the chat telling me I'm wrong. He says, yeah, he won at Spa last season, and he's got 3 wins in AM1 as well. So,
yeah,
win number 5. I don't keep track of these things. This is what I rely on Matt for. He's like my carer.
I'm not getting dragged into this. You're on your own for this one.
Fine, I shall stand alone and plough on regardless. Great job, though, Arvo. Great job, mate.
Thanks, man.
P2 then, Dynastics.
Yeah, I'm here.
How did you keep those tyres alive? The mediums.
Well,
I have to know. I was watching on TAS. I was watching the wear just go up, and then T-Bow's added a feature this week where the colour changes with the wear, and I don't think I've ever seen a red that colour before. I've never seen one that dark.
well, it's funny because even though the person was very high, it still felt great. Yeah, every lap. But when Calator went into the pit for the soft, I quickly realized he was 2 seconds faster than me. So yeah, the track didn't feel like it was getting any wetter or anything. Just felt like the track was dry all the time, but eventually the safety car came out at the very end, and I thought track position. What's the thing I should be focusing on instead of going into inters?
But P2 isn't all that bad.
But when you kind of been leading the race and felt like I was going to win, and yeah, then got overtaken on the final lap, it
yeah, I
felt like
suppose.
a lost game.
Yeah, I suppose so. But when the dust settles, it's 3 points gained on that bloke behind you.
Yeah, but fair play to both Arba and Doretta for the strat today. really nice comeback for Dueta. I think he was last or something after that lap. It's a really good performance for him to get a podium team.
Yeah, very magnanimous there from you. Well played, mate. But good job on P2. I know it doesn't feel like a win now, but I think it will do at some point. So great job, mate. Moving on then, P3, Andreas.
Hello.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just give me a hint of the caliber of language that was flying around your stream chat when lap 1 finished.
I had to mute my mic, to be honest. After the
I knew it.
I was in a party with Riz and Collider, and after the formation lap, I just had to leave the party and go on my own. I've never driven so much on pure anger and frustration before. I was just like, I have practiced way too much for this to be last now. And yeah, I immediately I kind of regretted going out on the mediums. I did 125.5s in qualifying right before this, so I would have gotten pole, but yeah. I was a bit unsure whether the mediums was even able to go to the end, because I knew that I'm quite harsh on my tires. Just kidding. Yeah, so and then my tires were so cold after the spin and disqualification on the formation lap, so I just dropped like 10 positions or something, 8 positions within the first corners. Then they just broke way too soon, I think, compared to what I thought they would. So I destroyed my wing on the first lap, went into the hards, and then just put in lap after lap, really. I was quite surprised I was able to follow and pull away from some of the guys coming out on the fresh mediums in the middle stint. But yeah, I was just putting in lap after lap and hoping for a safety car. And my tires were at like 78% when I went in on the inches, and then I came out and the safety car was out, and I was like, oh shit. So yeah, I was just asking Jeff all the time when we went around with the safety car whether it was dry or inches. That was the best, and he kept saying dry until like the last chicane before the safety car came in. And then yeah, I just felt the grip coming out of the last chicane. Overtook a couple of guys and then got caught up in a couple of spins out of the hairpin. Destroyed my wing. Quite lucky that I think it was Jay Princess who ghosted after. Yeah, I destroyed my wing on him, but then he ghosted and I could go through him. Yeah, and then just push. But I think if I didn't get caught up on that, I would have gotten P2. I'm quite sure, because I had a lot of pace. But yeah, in order to finish first you have to finish. But I felt like I've said that way too many times this season, so I'm quite frustrated, really. This was not what I was hoping for coming into this one. But looking at the race, I think I should be quite happy with the P3 today.
I certainly would be if I was in your position, but then again, I'm not leading the championship. I'm just sort of loitering in the midfield.
Yeah.
We've got mixed votes for driver of the day though today. I'm trying to see if we've got a majority.
Is it between what, Dracer and...
Titch and Arbar.
Titch and Arbar?
I think it's split evenly. We can't give it both.
The season of goodwill. We started the 1st of December, it's allowed. Come on.
Fine, I'll let you. Yeah, that's on your head, be it. Both of them driver of the day, so.
Sweet, yeah.
Fair play. Congratulations, guys. Well played on getting on the podium. And we will call it there then for tonight. Thank you all at home very much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you have, make sure you tune in next week. We'll be live from Silverstone. Always a good race at Silverstone. Always. We're yet to have a boring one. EU2 is anyway, of course. always gives us some good action to watch. But if you can't wait till then, you can tune in again for EU1 and EU4 tomorrow and Thursday, 10 PM UK time, right here on Twitch. Go on, hit the follow button, then you get notified.
AM2 in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, AM2 in 2.5 hours, and then AM1 tomorrow night at 9 PM Eastern as well. And then EU3 on Monday, of course, where me and Matt will be making fools of ourselves again. Well, I say ourselves. Myself, Matt will be doing quite well.
Okay, I'll try.
No worries, mate. But if you're watching this live on Twitch, make sure you hit the follow button before we go off air, just so you can get a shout out on stream. I might do a couple. I'll see how I feel. If you're watching this back on YouTube later on, make sure you hit subscribe and like the video. It really does help us out a lot. Thank you again very much for watching tonight. See you next week. Goodbye.